I rent stuff. That's my job, is to help people rent things, whether that's commercial businesses or private individuals. So from Hummers to Harleys, from surf simulators to strippers. Especially for you, Felix. Erento is a marketplace where you can rent anything. Almost anything that it's possible to rent, and probably a lot more things that you can imagine that you can rent. We're predominantly at the moment in Germany, and we are the #1, well, technically globally, but that's only because there isn't a lot of competition. On the face of it, we look like just any other marketplace, and to a large extent we are. So this would be familiar to most of you. It's a listings page, a search results listing page. Slightly different for a rental business because we're not getting new content all the time. We do have new businesses listing with us, but the content basically stays the same. So we have to find some creative ways to work with Google to ensure that this looks relatively fresh, and also to make sure that we deliver response to our customers. So no two people will ever see the same search results page because there are algorithms in the background which are looking at how many times an advert has been clicked through so that we can spread the response to people. And also we may favour particular customers because they might pay us more. And again, the ad details page looks pretty similar to any item details page on any of your portals. And it is. It's the details for that particular item, with the exception of the fact that we have quite sophisticated pricing so that people can effectively see what they're going to pay if they want to book this particular thing. And that varies from item to item. So clearly, how you rent out whatever that is, a Ferrari, is not the same as how you would rent out a stripper or a beamer for a presentation or anything else. So superficially the same, individual detail different. Erento was founded in 2003 by a Swiss guy and his partner, Chris Muller, and it all started when he was searching for beer tent furniture for rent. He was putting on an event, and the experience that he had was pretty bad, and he had a web design company and thought that he could do that better. Move on to 2007, and they took some investment. It was quite a hot startup at this time. So they got investment from the Samoa brothers, European founders, and Holtzbrink. And then in 2011, the business was sold to Rus Media. The founders left the business, or one of the founders stayed on for a little while, and then the first one left straight away. Today, we service 2,896 rental companies. Just in Germany. There's about 500 in the UK. We generate 75,000 phone inquiries for the businesses that are listing with us. We generate a further 22,000 email inquiries. There are 45 people in the business, mostly in Berlin, but 6 now in the UK as well. And there are 365,000 unique rental items listed on the portal. We do have some competition, so whenever something is successful, it tends to attract copycats, and this is definitely the case in Germany. So we have Miet24, which is a very distant #2, and then we also have Rentino Rio, which is a very distant #3. Unfortunately, with any form of competition, what it tends to do in the internet is bring down the price that you can charge, and this is definitely what's happened in Germany. Elsewhere in the world, we largely don't have any competition. And we also have this is a peer-to-peer rental. We're seeing a lot of this. This one's a horizontal peer-to-peer rental, started in Austria, but there's a similar one in France, and then there's lots of individual segment peer-to-peer rentals, so lots of car rental things. So how we make our money today is pretty similar to how all of you guys make your money. So there's paid for listings on a subscription basis. Then there's top position, in the search results, where we're able to charge for individual items in that position. And then there's banner advertising as well. So very, very similar to all of you, and very, very, in my opinion, old hat, basically. How we will make money in the future? Well, we're going through a process of changing at the moment. So this is Airbnb, listings for Prague. Who's used Airbnb here? So actually a reasonable number. I would recommend that you try using it just for the experience of how they manage the transaction, which is incredible. So this is a quote from an article in The Economist. And in fact, things have changed. I think they're now renting 50,000 rooms or houses every night now. And the key thing is that the whole transaction is managed online, and people are paying online, therefore Airbnb are in the transaction, which is what gives them a valuation of 2.5 billion at the moment. So our aim is to move from being an advertising subscription business to being inside the transaction. And definitely for the rental thing, we can. And in fact, for our two largest customers, that's what we do already. We take a commission of every successful transaction that they make. So it's a fairly radical change for us, and we hope that we'll create more value for ourselves and for our customers as well by doing that. Renting is a big market, and it's about to become a whole lot bigger. So this is the cover from The Economist, I think of May of this year. It was all about the sharing economy. And as it says, the peer-to-peer rental market at the moment is going to be worth $26 billion a year. You can basically rent out anything. So you can't see it properly on the cover, but any of these things, so a lawnmower, even a pet, a bike, you can rent this now. There are startups out there that are doing this. And this is a big movement. So I would recommend that you have a look at, there's a site called Collaborative Consumption, and the person who started that is Rachel Botsman. She wrote a book about the sharing economy. This is a big tidal wave of change. Not my generation. I like owning things, but the much younger generation that's coming through, they're going to be asset light. They don't want to get into the debt that we did. So they're prepared to rent things, and most importantly, technology enables that. If you think about what Airbnb does, 10 years ago that wouldn't be possible. Today it's entirely possible. It's a great experience. Thank you, Peter. I was in LA recently. I was able to rent something, pay for it all from home and over my desktop and mobile. Now, I should also say you should have a look at collaborative consumption, because on there they're actually providing a toolkit for people to create web businesses or mobile businesses to enable the peer-to-peer market. This is our first venture into peer-to-peer. So we acquired earlier this year a Finnish platform, Erento, which has both sides. So we, Erento, are completely commercial. This includes peer-to-peer as well, and we believe this is a big part of our future. Shay asked for a success. This doesn't look very much like a success. So this is before I joined. I didn't join until 2013. So in July of 2012, they had a development team of 6. By August of 2012, they had a development team of 0, because they all left to join another Berlin startup, which is a bit difficult when you're a web business. Thankfully, through our colleagues at Rusmedia in Romania, we've resolved this. So we're back developing the platform now with releases every week. And we're currently just coming towards the end of a completely new platform, Erento 2, which is built on a stack of open source technology. This is not just a website, this is a business. So this will handle all our sales, all our accounting is fully integrated, deliberately done on an open source stack so that we get better minds outside of our company developing it. And this will enable us to be multi-local, multilingual, and enable peer-to-peer and in the transactions as well. We're trying to become international. In fact, as it says there more accurately, we're trying to become multi-local. Our business is not like Mascus. People don't tend to rent things across borders, but very local. So we have to be very local in each country. Our headquarters is in Berlin. We also have an office in the UK, and now we have Tomas with us from Finland as well. And our biggest challenge isn't robots. It would be really easy if all I had to deal with was robots. What I have to deal with is lots of people. And although we're hopefully a technology company, it's really still about people. How you manage people, how you lead people, how you motivate people, how you can recruit people, particularly in somewhere like Berlin, where we're in a really lots of startups there. So we had to try and build some sort of vision. So our vision for the future is that we'll provide digital solutions for rental companies. We don't see ourselves as a marketplace. We see ourselves as solving problems for rental companies. We're definitely going to be data-driven, no assumptions. We want to be the experts, a bit like Nettiauto, so they become a source of information for that particular vertical. That's what we want to do for rental. We have to be passionate about what we do. We were a great startup. It seems to have lost some of that energy, so I'm trying to build that back into the business. And we believe that for us to be successful, our customers have to be successful. And that's one of the great things about being inside the transaction is you become aligned to the needs of the customers instead of battling to prove the value of the advertising that you're giving them, selling them. And we aim to be a global, multi-local, trustworthy marketplace. And hopefully that will drive our revenues and profits. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.